What's going on, people? Welcome back. The name of this video is Creating a Narcissist. Now, people aren't born narcissists. They are made to be that way. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, Nicki Minaj, she mentioned that she has a documentary coming out soon, and she'll be talking about childhood, like things that she seen coming up as a child, and about being abused. She talked about witnessing her mother being a victim of spousal abuse. And Meek Mill, he kind of made a statement on Twitter along with like a post from a narcissist website. And he said that Nicki Minaj is a narcissist. Now, I'm not going to post any of that because I'm pretty sure he took it down, so you would have to go search for it. It's online. I know you can Google it or whatever. But it just goes to show that everybody is not blind to what's really going on with certain people. But the people who are the most close to them and they have their blinders on, like the last video I did, the narcissist flying monkeys. Those are the only ones who are not aware, of what they're dealing with when they're around a narcissist that much. And, like, even myself, I've been a victim of one. And at one time, you probably couldn't tell me that about the person who I was dealing with like that. But now that I realize it, and now that I know, it's so much I can talk about to pinpoint out the characteristics of a narcissist. And one of them is they went through something coming up, something they dealt with being raised as a child, which caused them to, go through a dysfunctional childhood and upbringing. But you can't tell this to a narcissist because, first of all, they're going to deny it. And then they're going to go around and tell other people, can you believe that she said this or she said that or he said this or he said that? They're going to try to flip it all on you and make it look like you wrong for trying to label them as somebody who got mental issues. And I brought that up at one time. I was testing this out at one time just to see how would they react. So we were having a conversation, another person and I, about a situation of someone who, they just have ways of a person who has went through a lot. And me and this other person were talking about how the person needs to seek help. They need to get some therapy or something like that, because hurt people, and they're going to continue the cycle. So the narcissist was among us during this conversation, but they couldn't handle it. So they started to do things to distract the conversation and kind of tune us out by making noise, about trying to interrupt the conversation and bring up stupid stuff that didn't have nothing to do with what we were talking about. Just being a narcissist, being rude and ignorant. And so we tuned them out and they couldn't handle it. The more we talked about this other person who should seek therapy to get over their pain and everything, they couldn't handle it, the narcissist. So they started to slam things, like you can see them, like I mentioned in my last video, you can see them cracking up inside. And so a narcissist is seriously trapped inside of their past, and they are living like this fake image of themselves to everybody else, and they have many people fooled. I myself included was one of those fools for a very long time. And I just thank God that I, came from up under those blinders, and now I can see, because you're dealing with something serious when you're dealing with a narcissist. And I even noticed how they can just do this stare at you. They just stare at you. And not only that, this particular person who I'm talking about, when I had a chance to meet their mother had that same stare. So you can tell that it was something that they got from their mother. It was something that they dealt with in their childhood. I'm going to kind of end this video by saying the narcissists, they kind of tell on themselves and what they've been through. Because she even mentioned at one time that she had a very, very mean mother. This was like way before I met the mother. She had a mean mother. Her mother was mentally abusive. Her mother was verbally abusive. And she became physically abusive right before she went to go and stay with another relative. And I was like, but what, caused you to have to leave the house? Like, why you had to go stay somewhere else? It got that bad. And this was way before I realized I was even dealing with a narcissist. This is something that came back to me recently, that the person kind of let me know that they were abused as a child. And when I thought about that, I'm like, it's just so much more to them than someone who try to, mirror another person's personality, or somebody who try to smear another person's name and stuff like that, or someone with evil thoughts. It's more to it. And I'm like, it had to come from the way that they were brought up, or, the things that they seen when they were a child, or the things that they went through. And like I say, it all comes up under abuse. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below.